Major League Baseball debuted the first female umpire in their history over the weekend. Shedeur Sanders has the football world in a tizzy for some reason. And happy birthday to the Kung Fu Panda. All on the very first, 14:20 in the afternoon. Let's get into her.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
1420 Sports Bar Podcast. For beer, the sports talk, and a whole lot more. Join host Brent Radlinsky as he bellies up to the bar and gets the conversation going that'll make you think you're sitting in your local watering room. It's sports, beer, and shenanigans. So sit back, grab a few beers, and let's get into it. The initial 14:20 in the afternoon coming at you on this 11th day of August 2025. Today's show, as always, is brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420-SEAT. That's 1420-SEAT over there at SeatGeek and save yourself $20 on your first purchase. Remember, we're part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to bellyupsports.com for all their great articles and other podcasts, such as No Credentials Required, The Corner Booth. And it turns out the guys were at the Fantasy Football Expo in Canton, Ohio over the weekend and spreading the good word of the Belly Up Network. So good cheers to all those guys. And make sure today you hit the like and subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're not, go to our YouTube channel, hit the like and subscribe button and the alert button as well to make sure you are you're not surprised when you miss out and it comes out there, but there it is. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel today. Or if you're just a podcast guy, hit the subscribe button to wherever you get your podcast. Leave a review and all that stuff that you know all about. Yeah, 14:20 afternoon kind of fits more to my lifestyle. I got up this morning. I was going to do a 14:20 in the morning like I used to a couple of years ago, but turns out I don't want to get up that early. I'm tired and old, so we're going to do an afternoon show. And then you can have a beer afterwards when you get home, when you're making supper or whatever it might be, and enjoy us on a daily basis. We're going to get these out. It makes a lot more sense to try to get 14 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever. It might be a quick show for you guys to watch and listen to over wherever you're whatever you're doing to wrap up this summer. Man, in the middle of August already. It's crazy how time flies when you're having fun. But over the weekend, Jen Powell, she made her Major League Baseball debut as the first female umpire. Saturday, there was a doubleheader between the Marlins and the Atlanta Braves down there in Atlanta. And then on Sunday, she got her first chance to go behind home plate, calling balls and strikes, and obviously a monumental occasion for Major League Baseball, for young female umpires, for the female baseball community, and on it goes. And I think it's a great accomplishment, no matter what gender you may be, just to make it the major leagues and get a chance to do it. A lot of umpires have tried and failed in the past, whether they be female or male. It happens year in, year out. You have a lot of young guys going to these Major League Baseball camps, one-day tryout camps to try to find their way, just as Jen did back in 2015 after she finished her collegiate career playing women's softball. So she wanted to stay in the game of baseball somehow, found a way to impress all the people at these evaluation camps. And you can only get a couple of chances at these camps. I have had some friends who've been to these camps over the years, and you get a one shot to get in there, and she happened to figure it all out, and now here it is. She can call herself a major league umpire. No one can take that away from her. Nobody can say that she wasn't, because it's there for everyone to see, and for all intent and purpose. She had a very good day yesterday on the plate, 94% ball strike rating, which is basically what everybody has in the big leagues. Yeah, there's some guys who are 98, 99%. Not very often you get the hundreds, and there's some guys who were low, but in her first start in the major leagues, I don't know what the stats are, but I'm going to make the assumption that every major league minor league call up that gets their first start in the big leagues are probably right around that number. Nerves have to be plenty, nerves have to be big, and she held her own out there and got the job done. And it's going to be a long time still. We have multiple major league umpires who are female, but this is the trailblazer and the first time it's ever happened. And I think it's fantastic for women and for for people in baseball. As you guys know, I get out there and I umpire some baseball as well. And we don't have enough female umpires who take part in this for whatever reason. There were a couple, a few in Lethbridge over the last couple of years, and there's just not anybody with any interest for a multitude of reasons. But now that the door is open, you might see a lot more. So I think it's very good because throughout sport, no matter what sport it might be, officials in the minor sports are lacking. There's not enough numbers of it. So if you are a man, female, or otherwise, and you want to go out and be an official in the great game of baseball, all the power to you. And for her to make it the big leagues, I think that's a major accomplishment that should be applauded no matter what it is. But of course, right after the very first pitch of the game was thrown yesterday, the anti-DEI warriors out there, the anti-human beings out there had to flap their big gums and talk stupid stuff. And no matter what, you're not going to please everybody, but for some reason, the really dumb people feel a need to talk and sprout their gums and become keyboard warriors and let their thumbs do the talking on their phone and have to make some comments that a female should not be in the big leagues. That, of course, she missed the first pitch of the game between those Marlins and the Braves, as I said previously. But here's the thing. To that idiot, I should have found out his name, but to this idiot who doesn't know the game of baseball, obviously, and especially doesn't know anything about officiating a game of baseball, it's very hard. It's really hard. And it's probably one of the hardest things to do is calling balls and strike, the way the catchers frame pitches now, the speed at which these guys are throwing the baseball and the likes. If she wasn't good enough, she wouldn't be there. That's plain and simple. And for the amount of work she would have had to put in to get to this level, it's astonishing. When I went to pro camp back in 1997, man, I'm getting older. I am old, actually, 28 years ago. Shortly after that, there were women who were in the minor leagues, and none of them got the chance to make it, whether because it was the old boys club or they just could never reach that level, that plateau that it becomes to become a Major League Baseball umpire. For Jen to get this level yesterday, as she did, it's a major accomplishment. And for anybody to sit there and say that she doesn't belong is stupid. It's absolutely stupid because baseball's got high stakes. Baseball's got very high stakes, whether it be just contracts, wins or losses, the betting angle, everything else. So baseball's got a lot at stake by not having somebody able to umpire in a game. And I know people are going to come back at me and say, well, this guy isn't good either. The Las Diaz's of the world. And then you go back to the days of Joe West, and you have the different umpires, Angel Hernandez, and on they go, all these bad umpires. Well, they were pretty good too. Do they miss calls? Absolutely. And it happens. But to get to that, the opportunity to umpire in the major leagues, you got to be really good. Not kind of good. Not kind of good. You got to be really good. And you got to tick all the boxes. And one of the boxes isn't male or female. So all these idiots who are out there saying that she didn't belong, they're absolutely stupid. And I'll tell you another thing. When you umpire at every level of baseball, you want to call strikes. And I'll tell you why. When you start calling strikes and you get too nitpicky, especially the very first pitch of the game, it's different because that magical box is on the screen. So I understand that there's a rating but what you want to do as an umpire is you want to set yourself up to succeed, and you want to get yourself, as I feel like I'm John Travolta for those who are watching on YouTube, but you want to get yourself into a rhythm and into a motion. And the best way you can do that early in a game is calling strikes. And that's what she did yesterday. The first pitch, and I do it. For all those baseball players out there, I do it. The first pitch is anywhere close to the strike zone. Strike one, good enough. Let's get going. Let's call strikes. Let's get this game moving, because there's nothing worse, no matter what level of baseball you're doing, whether it be minor league baseball, summer collegiate baseball, little league baseball, JV, or whatever it might be, high school, whatever it might be. There's nothing worse than people sitting there calling, not getting strikes, and what the walk fest going on. So what she did yesterday by calling that strike right off the bat, it really made things get the flow of the game going. And to me, it made complete sense to call that first pitch a strike. No matter where that was, Jen Powell should have called that pitch a strike, and she did. It wasn't a horrible pitch. Was it a little bit inside? May or may not have been. But who am I to say sitting in my home after a night of drinking beer and everything else? Who am I to say that it's not a good pitch? Get the zone ready, get people up there swinging, get things going, and set yourself up to succeed. Because on the other hand, if she calls a pitch a ball right off the bat, people are like, oh, holy Christ, we're in for a long one here, right? So you can't win, and especially with these, like I said, these anti-DEI dickheads who just think she's only there because she's a woman. That's not true. You have to be good. You have to be good to make it to the minor leagues or the major leagues. And how much, like I said earlier on, how much harder she would have had to work just to surpass this guy who was pretty good, who might have been just in front of her. Well, we better take the guy to make sure that we're let's not ruffle feathers. It's been an old boys club forever. Let's not be that first one. So she would have had to have been at an elite level in AAA or an elite level coming up through the system. And even to get from rookie ball to A ball to double A ball and on, you have to be at an elite level. And for her to get to that, to be given that chance at that next level, it definitely had to have been something that she had to accomplish, and it had to be better than anybody, heads and shoulders above anybody else, because they would have told the company line and say, you know what, now's not the time to have a female. But eventually it got to that point that she's there, and I don't see why it doesn't happen more often. Is it physically demanding? Yeah, but not that much to be an umpire. Like I can say that without a smirk, because it's or with a smirk, because it's physically demanding. But once you get the 4-person umpire system, it's not overly hard. It's not something that you need to be able to lift 200 pounds with. You don't need to run a 4.5 40. You don't need all these stats and different things. It's like with hockey, you got to be able to skate. In hockey, you got to be a not saying women can't skate, but they got like the hockey officials skate at a very high speed. They got to be physically strong to break up skirmishes. But with baseball, it's a different thing. So the physicality of it isn't the same. So baseball's it's been happening in the NFL for a long time. It's been happening in the NBA for a long time. So people aren't complaining about that anymore. Now it's just part of the show. Now it's just part of what it is. So for people to be sitting there complaining about a woman being in the professional baseball world is asinine. It's completely asinine, and Jen Powell should be very, very, very happy with herself and very ecstatic with herself. How long will she be there? I don't know. She's a Major League Baseball call-up. But for these keyboard warriors, these complete idiots, I can only imagine the camouflage hat this guy was wearing. And I shouldn't be that kind of a person. I shouldn't say that and group all those and stereotype all those people into a group. But it turns out that's why stereotypes are stereotypes. This woman did herself proud. She did herself a job, and she got it done properly. And I can't be any more proud of her. Like it's whenever we get even a young kid or a young person or a young woman that comes out to our umpire camps, it's always a high five and a pat in the back. Like, way to go. Like, you're trying something we need. I don't care what you got between your legs. I don't care. Come on. If you do the job, great. There's lots of males who can't do the job. Lots. See it all the time. Does this guy sit on his keyboard at home when name umpire B when he makes a bad call right off the bat? Does he say, yeah, that guy shouldn't be here? Probably not, because they're making bad calls all the time. I can't imagine the nerves she would have had yesterday seeing pitching at that elite level, how hard that must be. Because you can't, she did some spring training games last year and then finally got the call this year. But I think for her to be out there, the nerves would have been astronomical. I was getting nerved up at a Little League game last week. I can't imagine what she was feeling yesterday, being the first female to umpire behind home plate. The day before, she's the first female in a major league game, regular season game. And then yesterday, the nerves, like the trailblazing and the pioneer and on and the interviews and the on and on it goes that umpires don't normally get. So all the pomp and circumstance and all the hoopla around it would have been tough. And then add on it that these assholes being there. It took me 13 minutes and 10 seconds to swear here at 14:20 in the afternoon. But for this to get done and her to do it, I'm extremely proud of her. I'm proud of the game of baseball for opening things up and for having things like that and saying, you know what, if this person deserves to be here, they deserve to be here, and she must. They aren't going to just insert a person here because they tick a box. I don't know if there is boxes for that. I have no idea. Yeah, you got to be a certain height. You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this. Probably, but is there a female or male box on the evaluation form? Probably not. In fact, I guarantee there isn't. I guarantee there's not. So these guys need to just shut their yaps and just let something that's remarkable happen, because it's going to happen in other lines of work too. If a male can't do it, why can't a female get in there and do it? Male's been proven for a long time. They've been screwing up umpiring for a long time. It's probably a good thing we got females doing this. I don't know if men know this, but women tend to clean up a lot of crap for us men all the time in all facets of life. So maybe this is a good thing that we got a woman coming in there to change things up a little bit and change the way the game of baseball is officiated. Might not be the worst thing. Couldn't be worse than half the guys that got in there. I think it's a great deal. I think it's a fantastic thing that it happened, and I think it should happen more often. And this can open up a lot more windows for a lot of girls. And thinking girls, like little girls, can say, I could do that. Not just my brother who can go to umpire camp when he's in Little League or when he's in America Legion. It's not much just my brother who can go to a Southern Alberta Umpire Association camp. I can go too. Softball girls can probably like the same. I want to stay in the game of baseball. Okay, come on out and umpire. I want to, because women can be fans of sports too, guys. Women can be just as athletic as guys can. Women can be just as enthusiastic about sports as guys can. They don't just have to be the scorekeeper. They don't have to be just doing the music in the booth. They can be out in the field. There's no reason why they can't in the game of baseball. So for anybody to say that there's anything negative about this is absolutely out of their freaking heads. To me, it was a no-brainer to finally get this done, and I'm not only proud of Miss Powell to get this done, but I'm also proud of Major League Baseball to finally get this thing done properly, and the Major League Baseball Umpire Association plus to finally say, you know what, it's time. It could have been time 10 years ago, but there might have been just the old boys club saying, you know what, we can't do this. We're not ready for this. We're not. Well, who's not ready? Ball strikes, out, safes, whatever. Rarely does an umpire ever cost anybody a baseball game. Rarely. As proven yesterday. One pitch is not you missed 10 pitches in a game. That's unbelievable. I'd like to see how this guy who was tweeting yesterday, see how he would have done in an American Legion game or a high school game or a Little League game. See how he would do. I'll bet you not very good because it's hard. It's really hard. So for anyone to say anything negative about what occurred in Atlanta, Georgia yesterday is an idiot. It's an absolute idiot to say anything negative about that occurrence yesterday, because it was a monumental occasion. And we're going to get to a point where it's just normal. It's just normal. Like the first time's always odd for something. Like it's just odd. It's different. Not odd, but it's just different. So you're like, ooh, that's different. And so you obviously you tune in and you're wondering how it's going to go. Women in the NFL, women officials in college football, women officials in basketball. Been happening for a long time, and it was about time it got happening in Major League Baseball as well. Anyways, here's there it is, 14:20 in the afternoon, a little bit long. Got a little word about Shedeur Sanders, and we'll come back with a happy birthday to the one and only Pablo Sandoval of the I think he plays in the Long Island Ducks or somewhere. Somewhere in the independent leagues. Anyways, we'll get to that in half a second. Here's a little word from our sponsor over there at Righteous Felon Jerky. Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of Belly Up Sports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BELLYUP, you will get 15% off your purchase at righteousfelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon Jerky. Use promo code over there at Righteous Felon Jerky, and get yourself 15% off the best jerky in the land. Craft jerky, beef jerky. Who doesn't like beef jerky in a summer day? Nice snack around the campfire or wherever you may be going. Road trips or whatever. Righteous Felon. Use promo code BELLYUP and get 15% off. Shedeur Sanders made his first start. Remember, he dropped to the 5th or 6th round, whatever it might be. I don't really care. Of the NFL draft. People thought he was going to go first overall. Really recently enshrined into the Colorado Football Hall of Fame, blah, blah, blah. And he came into the game with a posse, apparently, leading him down the tunnel to into the dressing room, and on it goes. And there was reporters kind of saying, well, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. Then there was different people saying, yeah, he was okay, he was this and that. And everybody's all up in arms about Shedeur Sanders. And I don't see what all the hubbub is about it. He's not going to play, or if he does play, great. If he doesn't play, that's great too. You know how you make Shedeur Sanders go away? You don't talk about him. It's really that simple. And that's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to talk about him. Bye. That's it. Bye, Shedeur. get to happy birthdays, and then we'll get everybody out of here. Remember, we used to do these, go do happy birthdays, and on it goes. We'd see them all over the internet, and see them whose birthdays and days off and everything else you can talk about. So let's get to today's birthday and get everybody the heck out of here for this first 14:20 in the afternoon. A few bugs to work out, but we'll get this thing sorted out so you guys can enjoy your daily dose of Brent Radlinsky in the 14:20 Sports Bar podcast. Have a beer while you're making supper. Put me on the screen on a daily basis. What could go wrong there? But anyways, let's do this. Happy 39th birthday to two-time Major League All-Star and three-time World Series champion, the Kung Fu Panda Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval was born on this day in 1986 in Puerto Cabello, Venezuela. Sandoval began his professional career in the Arizona Complex League in 2004 in the San Francisco Giants system, and he spent parts of 8 seasons in the minor league system before getting his call up to the big leagues on August 13th, 2008, where he went 0 for 3 versus the Houston Astros. He got his first major league hit on August 16th versus Mike Hampton of the Atlanta Braves. Sandoval made the Giants opening day roster in 2009 and became a mainstay with those great Giants teams of the 2000s for the next 6 years, winning World Series championships in 2010, 12, 14. Overall, Sandoval hit .278 with 639 RBIs and 153 home runs in his 15-year Major League Baseball career. Happy birthday to the Kung Fu Panda, Pablo Sandoval. There he is, making some acrobatic plays for a big guy. He could sure move pretty well, and always a gregarious spirit on the field. So happy birthday to the Panda on the. Remember, he went to the Giants for the Red Sox for a while. Then went back to the Giants. I think he finished his career with Atlanta. Yeah, and I think he's in the Atlantic League somewhere with either the Long Island Ducks or the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. I think it's with the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. I'll do a little bit of research on that and get back to it. But anyways, there it is, the 14:20 in the afternoon for this Monday, the 8th day of August 2025. A lot of fun. Go have a beer. Enjoy your night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. And remember, everybody, it doesn't matter where you are. It's who you're with. Have a great day, folks. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning into the 14:20 Sports Bar podcast. For beer and sports talk and a whole lot more, brought to you by SeatGeek. Go to bellyupsports.com for the best of sports articles and podcasts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or wherever it is you get your podcast. Let's get in.